everybody. Hello. It is Demo Donna here. Thank you for joining me. And now I kind of get it. If you turn on the StreamYard first, you guys all see me on YouTube if I hang out in here for a while. So hello. Thank you for commenting and joining me this evening. It has been a crazy weather day in Minnesota. It actually feels a lot like Florida. We've had some crazy flash floods, some storms. It's like 90 degrees out. So what better way to come and celebrate with you? Oh, Southern California. Irma, that sounds lovely. So hello to Irma. Hi, Jody from Iowa. Denise, thank you for joining me. And I know Rick Green, I know you're going to tell me. Oh, I think you changed. You changed over, didn't you? Sneaky. Maria and Susan, hi. Hello to Kelly and Frida. Thanks for popping on super early. I really appreciate it. And Karen, my first Facebook comment. Oh, Lori, look at right there. You guys kind of tied. You both came in at the same time. So I don't normally do the same die back to back, but I don't know about you guys. I'm absolutely in love with this bee flip card. I'm just using a couple elements from the bee flip die set, not all of them. So I figured that's okay then. I will show you up close my cards from last week's live. And then I also did a bee flip card class last night, which was a lot of fun. We had a lot of students in there. We all had a great time. And then there's always a video to watch after, so you could check that out on my YouTube channel, Demo Donna. Or if you're interested in signing up for some of these fun Pink and Mane cards, you can head on over to Demo Donna Design Studio on Facebook, and we will get you set up, and you could see what next classes are coming. What classes are coming next? There we go. That's how you say that. Okay. So I am doing a little bit of everything tonight. Figuring out my lighting is not my strong suit. My girlfriend said my hands look so dark, so I think it's just the shadows, but you know, summer, what can you say? All right, so I just looked up the name of this because when I received this embossing folder, oh, thanks, Karen. It was a great class. We did have a lot of fun. And hello to Maureen and Lynn. And yes, Denise, you did change over. See, I knew it. I'm catching on to you guys. I know your tricks. Oh, and hello, Kimberly. Okay, I've always loved your sign-in from Hershey, PA. Okay, I will now focus. You know I could sit here and just say hi and chat with you guys all night long. You know that is possible. So I just looked this up because when I received this, the headers weren't made yet. So I just had this plain. And this is Pocketful of Posies embossing folder. And by the way, when I went to check out the embossing folder, I had no idea how many they were there. I don't think I've done a deep dive on the embossing folder. So if you love embossing folders as much as I do, there are some really cool ones that I will definitely need to check out. So I have gone ahead and embossed both of these. These are two A2 card bases, and I did emboss both of those with my Pocketful of Posies. If you are new to using embossing folders, what you're going to want to do is follow the instructions on your die cutting machine on the sandwich that you create with your plates, specifically for your embossing folders. Okay, I am using, like I said, kind of a hodgepodge of things. I like it's kind of a potluck. We should call it our potlucks. And to start with our first card, I am making a shaker, but I'm also creating quite the background. And I'm just going to really quickly run through the dies that I'm using for the first shaker. And it does help if you can see the name, Fancy Lattice Die. So I will be using this. I created a frame using the oblong stitch octagon. And we are using a combination of the ladybugs and the bee from our bee shaker card. And this is the hexagon flip card that I used last week in sneak peek week. And we will be using a few of the elements, but here are the cards we created. One using the new foil and one of the new toner sheets. And then this one using pretty much all of the die pieces involved, and then some other fun things. So it's always fun to go back on Facebook. Things are now deleted after 30 days. So if you want to find some older videos, you need to go to YouTube, the Pink and Main YouTube channel, to do that. Oh, we got some more. Hello, Marilyn. Thanks for joining us. And I am going to be using Fun Sentiment Banners set number 2. There are 3 of these. I like how I said 3. There are 3 of these. Definitely check them out. Great, great sentiments. Okay, and for my shaker card, I was going to make a small A2 shaker cover, but I am all out of them. So that means I have used at least 10 of them for my sets with you. So with this one, I'm using a full one, and I'm going to be cutting tonight. So you're going to notice here that when you use an A2 shaker card cover, your card base is a little bit smaller than an A2. And one of these, I believe I cut down, this one here. So you could see it's just a 1/16 of an inch smaller to fit into the shaker card base. And I'm glad I remembered that. I cut one of those down. That's always helpful. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do a split shaker. So I'm going to have a design element on the bottom as well as on the top. And I'm going to take my lattice that I cut out, and I believe the cardstock that I used was the sky blue. So here's my little lattice guy, and I just went ahead and cut out the inside pieces. I popped them out on the half that I'm going to be using. You know, just cheated a little bit. That's okay. So, and I'm only going to be using half of this. So I'm going to take my glue now, and we're going to glue this down. Another great way, whenever you have really intricate things like this, is to put your easy tear tape on the back. So you can just peel off a strip of tape. That was a little trick that I used to use a lot when dealing with detail dies. I would put the tape on the back, and then I did not have to glue it down. I would just peel my tape off and stick it on. Good to go. Because I'm going to be cutting this down, I'm going to be making sure, especially where my cut marks are going to be, that I have quite a bit of glue. Potluck card making class tonight. I hope you're all buckled in. You've got your snacks. You've got your beverage of choice. Maybe a big cup of iced tea. I forgot my water, so this should be interesting. Hopefully there is no need. We don't need to call in reinforcements. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple more dots of glue. That should be good. Okay, and I'm going to stick this right about here. And I'm doing this all in front of you guys. I know I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, but something that requires like more than 3 steps, I want to show you so you're not like, wait, how did she get that done? You know, it's good to see the behind the movie, Matt. Can you use a Xyron machine? Of course, I don't feel like I've heard the Xyron machine in a long time. Or remember that like stick it paper where you would take something like this and stick it, rub it down, and then pull it off, and it would have the sticky on it. But that wasn't too bad. That actually, paper to paper, even if it's really delicate like this, glues really nicely. Okay, I'm bringing up the big guns. Hold on. Paper cutter time. I know I definitely don't have the setup to add my paper cutter. Because I did not really glue this guy on, oh my goodness, my shirt is stuck in my paper cutter. That's always fun. I'm going to first cut this straight-ish. Okay, and now we have, remember we have to cut this down just a little bit because I'm going to be gluing this onto my, I'm going to be gluing this onto my flower one, so I'm going to have a different design on the top and on the bottom. So this needs to be right there. And I'm just going to trim some of this off just because I don't want you to see it when my card's done. So that now is going to be what is going to be glued onto the back. And I am placing a little bit of a frame. You know what? I'm going to trim that off just a little bit more, so it's at least kind of even, in case you do see it. Oh my gosh, there we go. Okay, we will be covering it up, is the moral of my story. So that is going to be glued on here, and we're going to have a top and a bottom to the back of our shaker card. And we are just going to do a split shaker, so I'm only going to have shaker elements on the top of my shaker card. Fun, fun, I know. Okay, I'm now going to glue these two pieces together. Oh, you love that sticky paper. I love it too. I feel like I've had 2 sheets though, and I never got a huge pack. I think I just had like samples, and it was very fun. But you know how we are when we just get a limited amount of something? We rarely use it. Isn't it crazy? Okay, so now, and I tried just gluing my lattice over the embossing folder, over the detail of the flower, and it was just a little too busy. So I definitely needed to break it up with the flowers on top and those on the bottom. Lovely. All right, next what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of my foam, and we are gonna have that go across the whole thing. So I'm gonna make sure I cut it long enough. I'm really good at that, thinking I have it measured and then it doesn't go all the way across. So we are gonna cover that up all the way. Let me put this straight. That will kind of help. Here we go. Flip that over and trim off your excess, and we're gonna even save these pieces. So the nice thing, something you guys might not consider, but now you will tonight, whenever you cut little pieces off, you can just go and stick them back on your roll, since it's all that non-stick film on top, and then grab them next time you go to use it. I used to stick them on my table, and then of course they would get stuck, but just stick them back on your roll and then grab them when you're done. Right? Isn't that lovely? Okay, yes, I'm the exact same way with paper. All right, now that I have this part done, I am going to peel this off. Step 1, I'm gonna grab this guy. For any of you that came in late, we are using the A2 shaker cover. This is the Big Daddy, and we have decided to do a split frame where we've got our shaker on half and then a nice design element, our beautiful lattice, on the other half. Okay, with all of these shaker covers, you are going to poke a little and peel off the protective frame, like so. And now you have this beautiful, it's clean for a second. I usually have glitter or something all over my paper. Before I start folding over my edges, because I'm doing something a little different, I'm actually going to lay that down so I can kind of hover over and center it like that. Okay, and now we are going to be covering this foam tape. We're basically just using it to hold up the actual, had a little eraser marks in there, hold up my actual shaker bits, so they're just going to be on the top. Now I'm going to turn that around and peel these guys off. I feel like I used that once and it worked, but I'm just going to use my fingernail tool which are newly short. And we're going to do the 3 edges. There we go. And then I like to fold these up in the middle and push down. So there is our first one, our second one, and our third one. And I wouldn't use any thicker of foam tape. That 1/8 inch is as thick as I would go. And if you just have the thicker stuff, I would use your double-sided tape. So that is what we have so far. Next, we are going to take our beautiful little shaker bits. I went with a blue on blue theme. So we've got glass, slipper, confetti, and diamond. Pop these guys open. It has a little opening here, so I always overstuff. It's a gift. Jeez, like really? It's not too bad. I mean, there's no quitting now. Well, hello, Jana. Right, you have to buy backups of paper. I know we already said this, and I know I already read this, but I agree. There's so much paper I still do just have onesies of, and I wish I had 30 so I can make a class kit with it. Okay, we are done with those. I am now going to take the final countdown, the last piece there, and flip that up. And now we have a split shaker. Okay, we are now going to move into the next elements of our card, which apparently are fighting me. And I made this little frame with the there we go. The oblong stitched octagon dies. I took the largest one. I took an A2 and I just centered it. You don't really have much on the top and the bottom. So I centered that, ran it through my die cut machine, and that's how I came up with this cute little frame to go over it. I feel like all the shakers just look a little bit more finished with a frame on them. I do ones without the frames too, so it's not all the case. But I do like a little framed shaker. Just me, just my opinion. Love the split shaker. Well, thank you, Denise, especially if you're planning on making a shaker with a lot of elements on the bottom of your card. Like instead of everything not being visible, you can just divide it and then voila, all of the fun is at eye level or above your design element. So, you know, it works out good. Okay, we are going to glue my little frame on. I'm going to take a good chunk of my Easy Tear tape. I'm going to do a combination of tape and glue because I'm gluing on to plastic. So it's always good to double up on your adhesives, especially when you're going on a glossy surface. Mirrored cardstock or even glitter paper, those all require a little extra love. Okay, peel these off. There we go. The fingernail tool is the best. I feel I just cut my nails this week, so I feel like it does require a little extra work when I have freshly cut nails. Like it's like learning how to use my fingernail tool all over again. Okay, I am now going to apply some glue. Not really sure how easy it's going to stick along the edges, but we'll try it. My frame was really thin. I could have gone with the next size down and had a thicker frame, but it'll be good. I accepted it. Okay, let's see. I'm sure there's going to be a little glue smearing. Oh, not too bad. Oh, there's a little, but not too bad. Okay, I'm going to be patient with my little frame here. There we go. All right, my nice frame. Next, we are going to get busy on the fun front of our card. And these layering dies are from this guy right here. So I'm using Card Cut Essentials Set 3. And I'm actually using this long piece right here and one of the cutouts, which are right here. And these are fun. I'm going to use this in my second card. So you'll see it live in action. Already on my die cut machine, ready to go. So we're going to take this right here and glue that on. So that's going to cover up our not so pretty tape. And again, I'm going to grab a little bit of this. You've never seen a split shaker. I might have made it up. I mean, I definitely didn't make up this look, but you know, I just named it this because, I mean, isn't that what we should be calling it? Or maybe it is called a split shaker and I've made nothing up and I've just heard it or seen it subliminally. And I mean, I feel like the name fits. All right. And now I'm going to lay this guy, which is great because these fit perfectly for your shakers. So now I've got my shaker bits on top, my cool design underneath. And next, for the main feature, it's funny, this looks like a pile of doggy bones. We are going to do a bee and ladybug combo on our card. I am a little behind on some birthday cards and some thank you cards that I definitely need to do, and bees and ladybugs are perfect. Perfect for both. Okay, so these little bees are from that flip card that I showed you, the new flip die from this month's release. And I even cut out some pink ones. They are not on my table. I talked about that last night. I'm like, how cute would these be in pink? Do like a little lineup in bees or a little background with a bunch of different color stripes. So you would just use this die here and cut out some different ones. Like a little baby shower card. I don't know. You know, whatever works. Okay, and then the wings. Just because I did this last week, we'll do something different this week and we will make some glitter wings. So I'm going to take my two little wings here, take a piece of scratch paper, which I had one. Hello, hello. Don't hide on me. Oh, here it is. I found it under my coffee filter, which is good because I'll need that too. Here we go. Okay. This is very easy to do. We did this technique in my class yesterday to make our honey look nice and drippy. So for my little embossing technique tonight, I am going to attempt to pick up the wings. So here are my cute little wings, just plain white. We are going to hit them with a little Versamark. And I'm putting them over on my coffee filter. So this is an embossable ink. I do believe Pink and Main also has an embossable ink. I just don't have it. So I should throw that in my list of items I need to use. This is Icicle. This is a transparent embossing powder with glitter in it. And I'm just going to simply dip and dip. You don't actually need to get any on the inside. So I'm going to take some of that off. Okay. I do have my tweezers. I was very excited to use them. Here they are. They were hiding behind my mini mink. Okay. Keep that up. And now you've got some cute, sparkly wings to go behind your bee. Very fun and easy. Can you see those? Aren't those great? So wings number 1 are done. Wings number 2. Another thing you could do is you could use your glue, and you can use your touch of glass and put them on your wings and sprinkle regular glitter. With that technique, you just have to wait for it to dry. That is the cool thing about embossing powder. Once you let that cool, that is dry to the touch within seconds. So there's our sparkly wings. That is all the sparkle we will be having on our card. And I love when I do my glitter first and foiling second, because then you're really trying not to get any of your foil glittery, but that's kind of not possible for me. I now will have glitter on forever. It was in my flip-flops the other day after the live, after last week. It happens. Okay, so how cute. Let's see a difference between a bee with no glitter. I mean, such a happier bee with glittery wings. So fun. Okay, right, something so little really does have quite a different look. And I just add the adhesive to the center. I don't even deal with the ends of the wings. And then I find like the actual bee wings themselves kind of create a little shadow effect. And there are 2 bees, done and done. And now for our ladybugs. I am going to, let's put our glue on this guy. There we go. Okay, I would love to know, I know quite a bit of you out there have the bees and the ladybugs. Has anyone made a card with both of them yet? Anybody? Anybody? Are you out there? Okay, so bee and ladybug. Finally friends. Well, you need to scoot over just a little bit. Too late, my glue is dried. Okay, and if you guys have seen this ladybug set, I think it's got 4 different ladybug options, so you could do your little ladybugs walking away. I have my cards actually right here from that live. So here was one card using the ladybugs, and I did a half circle card, so these are really fun. And then the other card I did with the ladybugs, this guy here, so you could see them walking away. And I did glitter paper with those as well. Okie dokie. So now that we're here, we are going to just do a fun little border. Make sure everyone fits. And then glue them on. I mean, cute, yay, nay? I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask because I think the bees and the butterflies just look so cute together. All right, and I played around. I had like a craft color paper for the background at first, not the blue. And then I'm like, no, I don't really like the brown with the bees. So then changed it to the baby blue, and I think that looks really cute. Oh, I think you need to go a little bit higher. There we go. And we could even pop these guys up a little bit. Okay, then add our two ends. So usually when I'm trying to center, attempting to center, I start in the middle and I work my way out. I use the eyeball method. If I measured everything, I think my lives might be 3 hours long. So therefore, the eyeball method is the way to go for me. All right, I'm gonna pop these little guys up. Okay, and then I have two scenes to choose from. I think I am gonna use this one. Oh, and we can even throw this down, but I don't want to. I'm gonna keep it just like that. We're leaving that off. I had it cut out, so I brought it with me. And I am using the thank you for the sentiment dies, the sentiment banner dies. And these are so cool and different. I like them. They look really cool with glitter paper too. And I think I'm just gonna add, I think I'm gonna do it over to the side here. I like it. And I'm just gonna go and use my little leftover pieces. One there, one there. Peel that off. Maybe battle your newly cut fingernails. There we go. All right, and it's funny because in the packaging, this blue does not look close in color to this one, but pouring it in there and mixing it with the silver, it does not look like it doesn't match at all. It looks perfect. And then I would just attach this to a card base, making sure I do my double-sided tape to just lock these down. And how fun is that? So cute. Card number one. Should I add a little bling? Yes, I should. I mean, it was in arm's reach. And I think I'm just gonna do a 1 and a 2. We're just gonna do 2 little corners. Okay, because I couldn't not add bling. All right, card number 1, everybody, shaker. Card number 2, non-shaker. But we are gonna be using our foil. We're gonna be using these guys. And I know I have my little tray here. Okay, we used these last week. I did in my live. And if you're newish or watching for the first time and not familiar what this little baggie of greatness is, let me tell you. And whether you use foils or not, these are awesome because you can use these to just grab for a quick embellishment, a quick saying. You don't even have to foil it. So these are really fun. These are called foilable cut-ups. There's a bunch of different kinds, so check that out at pinkandmain.com. And this one comes with all these little fun guys. And, you know, I'm going to show you a trick. We are not going to be foiling any of this. I am going to be foiling one foilable sheet from this guy here. I know I used this last week as well. You know, if you use it 2 weeks in a row, it's pretty fun. So if you had second thoughts, do I need these, Demo Donna? Maybe. Oh, look it. That's my leftovers from last week. I forgot they were in there. See, that's why it's good to shove them back in the bag. Okay, so in this one, you've got these sunflowers that are solid black, and then these sunflowers that have the outline. So I want to do the solid one, and I cut the sheets are 8.5 by 5, and I cut it in half first. So now I have 8.5 by 4.25, and then I cut it to fit the die that I'm going to use, and that would be this guy here. And when you die cut your foilables, you want to make sure you foil first and then die cut after, or it just is, there's just more things at that point for your foil to not stick to, like more grooves on your paper. Okay, and because I already did a practice run of one of these, there's glitter on my paper. I'm gonna do this guy here. And then I'm just gonna take my scissors. And this, by the way, is satin champagne. Again, you guys know the drill. I used it last week. It's a brand new foilable, but brand new foil, sorry. And really beautiful. And all of this, the whole line of satins is so unique and so pretty. Love them. Check them out. Okay, and I'll show it to you on my B card from last week. So this is the satin foil. And then this guy here, one of these. And same with both of these sayings. I didn't even foil them. I just stuck them in my card. So a nice quick way to add an additional element, even if you don't foil. Who would have thought? Okay, let's try to de-glitter these. Chances are there will be some glitter. It's just a fact of my life. Something my husband's just learned to accept. Okay, so I'm putting this guy down. The reason I picked this design is because we are gonna do a little inking on top of our foilables. And look at that's on the outside. I'm like, why is there glitter stuck in there? Okay, make sure you don't have any of your toner. So that's the black ink exposed when you run this through your machine. Here is my mini ink machine. It doesn't really fit in my camera, but you're gonna set it to 3. It takes a couple seconds or maybe minutes to heat up. I usually turn it on like 10 to 15 minutes before I start the live. You laughed so hard. That, right? When you received the foam, sorry, I'm reading Jana's comment, right? I told you though, I warned you that roll, when you first get this roll, it doesn't even fit into frame. It is so huge. And what I did is I actually stuck a nail in the wall behind me, and that is where I keep my foam roll. I just grab it. Some of you probably don't even have wall space anymore. I've seen some of your beautiful craft rooms. Okay, take this out. Mine's so tiny now though. Mine used to be huge. Okay, and we are gonna grab this guy. We are gonna grab this guy. We are gonna find the rest of my card that I've hidden. Oh, here we go. I'm like, where did it go? I have way too many fun things on my desk to motivate me. Okay, so we have this and this. Oh, we've got you guys over here, you here. I also need some, oh, here we go. These two guys here. Apparently I put things in 4 different piles. You guys so far see nothing. Okay, now that we got this cool corner, I'm gonna take that off. Isn't that just so pretty? And now we are gonna grab our die cut, and I'm gonna lay that right there on my die cutting plate. Run this through. Everyone hang in there. We did it. Okay, now I have this guy. Very fun. I'm gonna stick him in the corner here. Before we attach him, I am gonna take some of my brown ink and we are gonna ink him. Oh, hello, Misty. All right, so I'm gonna take my little ink here and I'm just gonna dip in and I'm just gonna do a rub around. It kind of makes the perfect inside of your flowers. we're covering up most of this. So, you know, here I am. All right. Well, that one was much darker. My last one I originally played with was very light, but I wanted a darker one, so I guess not dabbing it off is the way to go. Okay, and you could even do that with a black and kind of dab it off to get it even darker if you want. But that is going to be my sunflowers. You're going to toss that down. Oh, I don't want black. That's what's missing. I wanted to use our white pocket full of posies. Silly me. Okay. That's better. All right, glue this guy down. And that's going to go right about there. And then we are going to use, I couldn't decide if I wanted the black, and I think I do want the black and white, or the yellow, but I think the yellow is a little too, it's a little too close to the satin champagne. So I'm gonna use the black to kind of cut it up a little bit more. And these two elements are again from the Hexagon Fun Flip card dies. Okay, we're gonna go right there. We are gonna take, oh, maybe I should use this guy in here. I don't like to waste my scraps, you guys. I could be changing my mind right now. Oh yeah, I like it. It actually, it looks better on camera than it does in person. Okay, right? It's funny because at first when I saw the sunflower foilables, I was like, am I gonna use those? And here we are. Okay, and this little strip, this like 1/4 inch strip, is from the same die as that fun die right there. And I'm showing you guys again. That is the Card Cut Essentials set number 3. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And now we're going to take this guy here, pop him up, take some of our foam, find your scissors, okay. There we go. You know, isn't the gold foil gorgeous? Okay, we are gonna eyeball center this, so I'm gonna go right about there. Next, what we are gonna do is tap back in to these guys, and we are gonna color 2 of our bees. So I'm gonna take a big one and a little one. Oh, I forgot I have this. I think I am gonna add this. I think we're gonna go right down in the middle with that one. This is from the exact same die set as my thank you. And I think we're gonna add that right there. Oh, or maybe here. There's so many pretty, okay, we're not gluing it yet. I kind of like it in the middle. And then we could do like the bees around it. I do like that, a little different. Okay, I am not running these through the die cut machine because I believe, at least with this champagne, if you run that through your die cut machine, everything that should be black is now going to be gold. So the only thing that you can maybe do next is paint your stripes black. So therefore, I think he's perfect just the way he is right now. Just my opinion. I would love to see if you guys have played with these and were able to run that through a gold and have them look cool. So if you've done that, Sure. Sorry, I'm looking for my little scrap piece of paper here. Okay, so what I'm going to do to mask my wings, I've got my construction. Here's my ink. This is my fun little trick. I'm just covering up the wings with the corner of the paper, dabbing in there, maybe blot a little out. And then I'm just taking this fun little guy and just doing some light bouncing. You don't even need to fully color it. You're just adding a touch of color. I'm going to do the same thing here. Kind of cover up one of those wings. This guy's a little bit smaller, so he's going to be a little pickier. But I'm just going to try to go super soft. And there's a little yellow. I'll hold those up in 1 second. I also have a little blue. There's still some ink on here, so I'm just going to take it and just kind of pounce in the center. We talked about this last night. I'm like, all the bees that I've seen, none of them have blue wings, but for some reason, a light blue is like the look of wings in paper crafting. But that's okay. It's pretty. Adds a little extra color. Okay. Last but not least, I cut out some of these guys because I thought they were going to be perfect sunflowers. And those are from our flower dies. These guys right here, the spring flowers. And I did use these guys a couple lives ago right here with a cute little jar and some bee stamps. But those flowers are great. They definitely have made their way onto quite a bit of cards. And let me show you how I've done that. I've just taken 2 of these spiky leaves or spiky petals. So I cut 2 per flower and then the biggest one here for the center. And now I'm just going to grab my glue and you can hear my voice is starting to say, okay, time's up. This is what happens when I forget to bring water in here. I get the history teacher voice. Person that is, I feel like the history teachers talk the most. And at least in my middle school, my poor history teacher always had the driest mouth. So, you know what I mean. Okay, then I'm gluing on my centers. First time watching Pam? Well, welcome. Everyone, welcome Pam. She is new. Pam, you gotta tell us where you're watching from. We're so excited to have you. I'm sure all of your new friends, which is everyone else watching, is gonna be happy. We're all here. We can answer any questions. So thanks for saying hi. Okay, so here are my cute little sunflowers now. And I'm just gonna do what I like to do with my flowers. Oh, NC. I'm supposed to figure that out? This California girl? Everybody help me. Go get water. No, I can make it through, Karen. I can. Okay, I can do it. All right, here are my fun little sunflowers now. And I like my thank you so much in the middle. I definitely do. It's a little different, but I like it. Thank you so much. I could have even popped it up. Okay, sunflowers, we're gonna stick you one here, one here, and then with my bees, I'm gonna kind of curl those up too. And then I think I'm gonna have one floating over here. Yes, I'm back to my foam. Okay. Again, I'm probably not going to use, oh, I could use all of this. That big bee's big. Okay, but I do want to curl up my wings. So I'm going to do that first. And then I'll pop that guy in the middle. I think I want the little bee. Oh no, I do want the little bee on the bottom because I don't really want to cover up much of my foil. And then I'm going to put my bigger bee on top. All right, right in the middle. I guess we're not using this second piece. I will stick it back on my foam, which is here. Now that I'm looking at this, the symmetry is kind of hilarious, but there's no changing it now. Maybe I would add like a couple more little flowers. It's kind of funny. But what we could do instead is add some random gems. That always makes things better. Let's just put more stuff in here. That's funny. I think I need a third flower. But guess what? I only cut out 2. I think that's going to do it. And maybe these will go here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I went a little rogue on my last card, but it was fun. I think maybe even adding some flowers along this line here might be kind of cool. There you have it, everybody. Oh, Heather. Oh, well, good. My Demo Donna channel, really, I just post my classes on them. So it's not really that exciting, more fun on my YouTube channel. But here is our split shaker card with our 2 different designs. So we've got that fun, our fun little die on the bottom. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name because I really love this die. I've used it a lot. I used it on my strawberries too. The fancy lattice. I'm going to show you on my strawberries. I actually used it the same color. So look at that fancy lattice die. It's just gorgeous. So pretty. There it is. And then our pocket full of posies embossing folder with our shaker bits on top. And then our fun little fun in the sun with our sunflowers and our bees, some foiling and some not foiling of our foilables. There you have it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I truly appreciate all of your comments. I will definitely go back and read everything. Oh, does the Card Essentials 3 die make an A2 card size? Actually, the die itself is larger than an A2. I want to say it's probably like 5.5. Let's see, this is 5.5. Yeah, so it's 5.5 by, it looks like 5 3/4. But these fit perfectly on your A2. All the dies in it fit on an A2. And if you purchase these dies, I do believe there's also sketches available. And then last but not least, if you guys were inspired tonight and you're going to head over to pinkandmane.com, make sure you use code DEMODONNA, all one word, and you'll receive a little thank you gift for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you guys so much. Have a lovely rest of your week, and we will see you again next week for some more fun lives. Bye-bye, everybody.